Good morning, Hampton Academy Sharks.
Today is Friday, March 29th, 2019. I'm Matthew Berry.
And I'm Ty Dumont.
Today is an A day, or a white day.
Today we will be featuring 8th grade oratoricals.
Students going on the Quebec trip have a mandatory after-school meeting Tuesday, April 9th.
Quarter 4 starts April 8th, and that is when PE, Health, and Shark Block are switching.
Please remember to return your library books when you are finished with them. There is a book return bin for students right outside the library.
You don't need to let Mrs. Saunders know you are returning your books. Just place them in the bin and you're good to go.
We only have a few weeks until the book marathon ends. Keep reading and don't forget to return your book logs to Mrs. Saunders by April 15th. The final party will take place that week. More details to follow.
Tech Club meets Monday and Tuesday. All are welcome.
Robotics Club meets Monday.
Mini Pillsbury pancakes with syrup, baked beans, cheese stick, carrot sticks, tip, and pieces of mold.
Next Tuesday, students will depart Hampton Academy at 6:15 a.m. sharp. Their destination, Washington, D.C. Students will experience all that D.C. has to offer with a guided tour of the most major monuments, including
Arlington National Cemetery, Museum, Smithsonian Air Space Museum, Holocaust Museum, the Smithsonian American and Natural History Museum, and many more. They will be arriving back at Hampton Academy around 11:45 p.m. on Friday night. Have a blast, 8th graders. We look forward to hearing about your trip.
Attention 8th grade. Today is the final day to submit your order for Subway for the 8th grade trip. If you haven't submitted your order, please see Ms. Gillis as soon as possible.
Student and staff who are going on the Washington, D.C. trip. Shark News is putting together a segment on your trip. Please send photos or videos you would like to share to sharknews at sau90.org or smcnicola at sau90.org.
Students, remember to hold your phones in landscape mode. We'd love to get pictures of you taken from a wide variety of activities. Thanks in advance.
Today we're sharing some safety tips for the 8th grade trip.
Stay with your group and chaperone.
Go to the bathroom with a buddy. Safety in numbers.
Don't talk to strangers.
Stay unplugged.
And have fun. Bye.
Stay at work.
Open gym will be held this Saturday night from 6 to 8 p.m. Come on down and enjoy some basketball, hockey, cricket, and many more fun games.
We will also be collecting items for the NHSPCA, such as food, toys, and blankets, and towels. Hope to see you there.
Recently, 8th grade computer technology students completed a 3D unit. They were tasked with creating a unique 3D functional item.
The items range from phone stands to bookmarks to keychains. The goal was for the students to be innovative designers.
They used a free 3D modeling program, Google SketchUp, to plan and manage a design process. Take a look at some of their products.
This past Tuesday, Hampton Academy students participated in the All-SAU Band and Choral Festival at Winnicott High School. Our students made us proud. Congratulations to the music students as well as to Mrs. Guay, our band teacher, and Mrs. Reno, our chorus teacher. Take a look at these clips from the performances.
When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them home. I'm on your side.
Last Friday, students on 7 Hampton had a Skype video call with Nate Obin. This visit complemented their reading of The Breadwinner, which is an award-winning novel about loyalty, survival, families, and friendship under extraordinary circumstances during the Taliban's rule in Afghanistan. This story takes place in Kabul, Afghanistan's capital city.
Nate is a teacher of freshman English classes. He received his master's in higher education administration from New England College. He was in the program at the same time as Mr. Murphy. After graduation, Nate took a job at Kabul University to teach English and orientation classes for freshmen. Haley got a chance to ask Nate a few questions about his time in Afghanistan. Let's take a look.
All right, Haley, how are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing great. You're all official with your microphone and your questions.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do to answer your questions.
Okay, so our first question is, how long did you live in Afghanistan?
I lived in Afghanistan for 12 months, or if you want to get really technical, 11 months, 5 days, and like 36 hours and some sort of seconds. But yeah.
And when you were there, did you see many damaged buildings?
Yes. It really depended on the day. If there was some sort of attack on some buildings or there was a bombing, I saw that, which would change, every couple of days, every few weeks. But there were also some buildings that were definitely torn down as well. It depended on what part of the city you were in. If you were in the newer part of the city, then buildings had been restored and roads were paved. So then people started rollerblading, and there were some parks down there as well. Really depended on the side of town you were on.
And for our last question, what do you miss most about Afghanistan?
Oh man, what do I miss the most?
Yeah.
Probably the food. The food was really good, but I think I really missed the culture. I really missed the culture. Having that opportunity to make a difference not only with education, but also I'm from New Hampshire. There's not a lot of diversity when I went to college or while I was in high school. So taking me out of my own element and exposing me to diversity, learning a new culture, learning new languages, experiencing new food, those are the things that I miss, learning about culture.
Thank you so much for letting me and everyone else ask their questions and for being on Shark News.
You're welcome, anytime.
The 8th grade Oratorical night was last evening in the dining hall. There were 15 8th grade students delivering their speeches. The speakers were selected by their classmates in class competitions held in their language arts classes. Congratulations to all participants. Your oratorical presentations were thought-provoking and well delivered.
Thanks also go out to the Masters of Ceremony, Nora Wilcox and Nathan Domingos, and Technology Coordinator Riley Hoyt. A panel of judges from the Hampton Rotary, along with last year's winner, Layla Hesson, judged the competition.
And of course, special recognition and thanks to Mr. Doherty and Ms. Pastor for guiding the students through writing and presenting their oratoricals and for organizing the whole event. It was a wonderful night, showcasing the students' writing and speaking skills. Here are some clips from the oratorical speakers, judged to the top 3.
The 21st century is frequently referred to as one of the most influential time periods in history. Cell phones, computers, and countless other modern technologies have advanced us to where we are now. Many people nowadays can't even imagine what life would be like without Facebook, YouTube, or Google. According to an article by Pew Global, access to the internet is considered so vital that in 2016, the United Nations passed a non-binding resolution to make disruption of internet access a violation of human rights. The internet is used all across the world, with a global median of 75% of people who use the internet or own a cell phone.
The Barbie doll. When you think of this iconic doll, what comes to mind? Personally, I see her as the girl with hair that was impossible to brush, but also a toy that I would spend many afternoons playing with. My sister and I spent countless hours setting up the pink Malibu mansion for our dolls to live in, or we would go outside and find a nice spot for our Barbies to explore. We would then come up with a scenario for the game. Were our dolls going to be spies, princesses, veterinarians, or college students? The possibilities were endless because Barbie allowed our imaginations to run wild. However, this is only one way that people view Barbie. Many mothers feel that Barbie sends a bad message to young girls about beauty standards because of her impossible figure and perfect complexion.
Imagine the following scenarios. Walking down the hallway, I bump into a classmate. Oh, I'm sorry. Returning food to the waitress that just served me. I'm sorry, but this is cold. Dropping my books next to a student as I navigate my locker. Oh, I'm sorry. But am I really? Learning to apologize for my mistakes was a lesson that I learned when I was very young, and most of us learn this as a form of politeness. It was your way to express your empathy after making a mistake or causing an offense. Until it has new meanings as you get older, and it starts appearing more often in your day-to-day speech. Now, you're beginning to apologize for seemingly everything, and the apology feels insincere.
And now for your weather. So we don't have any weather photos to share with you. So make sure to send in your weather photos at sharknews@sau90.org.
Or hashtag them at #SharkNewsWeatherPics. And now for your and will be mostly cloudy.
At noon, it will be partly cloudy, but it will warm up to 53 degrees.
And at 4 o'clock p.m., it will be 55 degrees and it will be cloudy.
And now for your 5-day forecast. So on Saturday, there will be a high of 59 degrees, a low of 48 degrees.
And on Sunday, it will be a high of 53 degrees and a low of 32 degrees, clouds with occasional rain showers.
And on Monday, there will be a high of 43 degrees, a low of 31 degrees, and sunny.
And on Tuesday, it will be a high of 46 degrees and a low of 36 degrees. Partly cloudy skies in the morning will lead to cloudy skies in the afternoon. That's your weather. I'm Anna Beck.
And I'm Alina Hardiman.
Now that the season has changed, here are some facts about spring. Did you know that there's more daylight during spring because the Earth's axis tilts towards the sun at this time of year?
Also, on the first day of spring, the sunrise and sunset are about 12 hours apart everywhere on Earth. And here's one more fact about spring. If you stand at the equator on the first day of spring, you'll see the sun pass directly overhead. This happens only twice a year, the first day of spring and the first day of autumn. That's your fact. I'm Jocelyn Snow.
And I'm Lily Ladd.
Celebrating their birthdays today are Molly Frost and Gavin Hoare. Celebrating on Saturday is Logan Merrill. And celebrating on Sunday is Emily McKenna. Happy birthday, Molly, Gavin, Logan, and Emily.
This week in Advisory, we will continue to discuss forms of communication. Our thought for the day comes from Jim Rohn. He was an American entrepreneur, author, and motivational speaker.
He said, take advantage of every opportunity to practice your communication skills so that when important occasions arise, you'll have the gift, the style, the sharpness, the clarity, and the emotions to affect other people.
And now for your jokes, make sure to send in your jokes at sharknews@scu90.org. Hey Jessica.
What?
What goes through towns, up and over hills, but doesn't move?
I don't know, what?
The road.
In 5, 4, 3.
Remember, before you speak, text, or email,
ask yourself, is it kind, is it true, and is it necessary?
And remember the Academy way.
Manage yourself, act responsibly, and respect yourself and others. Go out there
and make it a great day.